It's a magic ring. With its approval you can become Merlin's heir and then become the most powerful wizard in the world. Balthazar looked at the boy before him. It was the one he had been waiting for 1,000 years. He told the boy not to touch anything here. He was now going to retrieve the wizard's handbook, but Balthazar had just left when the boy found a nesting doll on the ground. Curious, he picked it up and examined it. It was a nesting doll with a slight spark on its surface. The boy was so frightened that he threw it to the ground, but there was a crack on the surface of the nesting doll. Then, tens of thousands of bugs began to emerge from it. As the boy watched in amazement, the bug eventually took the shape of a man. Horvath appeared and was ready to kill the boy without saying a word. Fortunately, Balthazar appeared just in time. He immediately knocked Horvath into the air. Horvath wasn't going to take it lying down. He fought back immediately. Both wizards engaged in a fierce battle that soon set the whole room covered in flames. With Balthazar temporarily trapped, Horvath turned to the boy again, but just then Balthazar rushed up to save the little boy. Balthazar sealed himself and Horvath together. The boy was so frightened that he ran out of the room. He panicked and threw away the wooden doll in his hand. Just then the boy's teacher arrived, but when they returned to the room they found that everything was calm again. It turned out that in the short time that had passed, Balthazar and Horvath had been sealed in their containers. 10 years passed in the blink of an eye. The little boy, Dave, back then has become a college student. Like many other otakus, he doesn't dare to confess his feelings to Becky he likes. In the meantime, the 10 years of sealing had come to an end. Horvath had finally broken free of the seal. The first thing he did when he came out was to throw the container that sealed him downstairs. Fortunately, Balthazar woke up just in time. He managed to escape from the container at the last moment before it fell. The first thing Balthazar did was look for Dave. That's when Horvath followed him here. In the end, it was Balthazar who got the upper hand. By the time Horvath reacted, Balthazar had already taken Dve and left the place. When Dve saw the giant steel eagle before him, he had to believe in magic. And then Balthazar revealed Dve's destiny. It turns out that 1,000 years ago Merlin, the greatest magician, had 3 disciples. One of them was Balthazar. The other 2 were Balthazar's girlfriend Veronica and his best friend Horvath. During Merlin's battle against the evil mage Morgana, Horvath chose to betray him. Not only did he help Morgana kill their teacher, he was about to use an evil spell to summon an army of the undead to enslave humans. Balthazar, who came to stop him, was also defeated. Just as Morgana was about to kill him, Veronica chose to sacrifice herself to save him. She took Morgana's soul right into her body. Balthazar had to seal them together in the Grim Hold. In the years that followed, there were evil sorcerers who tried to rescue Morgana. Balthazar defeated them and they were sealed and nested dolls layer by layer. And on the outside was Horvath. Before he died, Merlin told Balthazar that whoever could wear the dragon's ring would be Merlin's heir, the only one who could kill Morgana. Balthazar has been searching for him for centuries. He had tried many candidates, but no one had ever been granted the ring of the dragon. Until that day when the little boy came. He must have been guided by the gods of magic. The next thing they had to do was to find the Grim Hold that sealed the evil mage. Meanwhile, Horvath had arrived at the same antique shop as before. He used his magic of time travel. He saw the wooden doll that sealed Morgana was eventually picked up by a Chinese grandmother. From what he saw, he determined she should be in Chinatown. Soon after, Balthazar also found the place. Little did he know that Horvath had arrived first.
Can I help you?
I'm sorry to trouble you. I'm looking for a... It's a nesting doll. It's about this big.
It's possible. I collect so many objects.
How far? How long?
You speak Mandarin.
As Balthazar questioned Horvath, a man quietly came up behind him. After Horvath found the artifact, he unleashed a sealed evil sorcerer to attack. The evil wizard was on the move. With a quick wave of his hands, the silver needles in the room were immediately controlled by an unknown force. They shot at Balthazar like bullets. Fortunately for Balthazar, he was no ordinary man. He turned to the evil wizard and sent him flying. However, the evil wizard was soon back on his feet, ready to use his true powers. The evil wizard looked slowly at his waist. He saw that the dragon totem was moving. Then not far away, the dancing dragon came to life. He began to grow flesh and blood. Even the dragon dancer's legs slowly turned into sharp claws. As Dve looked on in amazement, the dragon roared directly at him. Balthazar saw this and blew out a handful of confetti. This temporarily blocked the dragon's view. The boy took the opportunity to run away, but the evil wizard wouldn't let him go so easily. He immediately took control of the dragon and charged at Dave. Fortunately, Dave found a room to hide in, but the dragon was in hot pursuit. The only way out of this situation was to defeat the dragon's controller, and with the evil wizard in control, the dragon ran into the street. Watching Dave in danger, Balthazar wasn't going to help. It turns out that only in a crisis would Dave be able to learn magic faster. The dragon was getting closer, and that's when Dave started to concentrate. At the last moment when the dragon was lunging at him, Dave finally used his magic. Balthazar saw this and immediately began to assist him. The berserk dragon was out of control. With the magic of transformation shattered, the dragon soon turned into a fake dragon, and all that was happening here, Horvath was watching. Looking at the ring in Dave's hand, he knew that his greatest enemy had appeared. After this incident, Dave was also interested in magic. He asked Balthazar to teach him magic. Balthazar told Dave once a decision is made, there is no turning back. Dave finally decided to make Balthazar his teacher. After that, he officially became a magician's apprentice. Every wizard has a ring of his own that can transform the energy of his brain into the material world. Under the guidance of Balthazar, Dave began to learn all kinds of magic. Although he wore protective clothing, he was still injured during training. With a lot of practice, he became more and more adept at magic. Once, when he and Becky met by chance, they were robbed and he defeated him with magic, and that impressed Becky so much she agreed to go out with him.
No, you just... Come by my lab, I'll text you the address.
Yes.
By the next day, he asked her to go to his lab. The end of magic is science. As a good science student, he played Becky's favorite song on a Tesla electric coil. This made Becky squeal with surprise, and the two of them had a romantic date together. Meanwhile, Horvath found an evil sorcerer as a helper. He was going to ambush Dave when he was alone, but Balthazar was waiting for him. He took the evil wizard by surprise and knocked him out first, facing Horvath, who continued to charge. Balthazar began to use his mirror magic again, but the two were evenly matched. Neither could get the better of the other for a while, but then the evil wizard came along to help. He sent Horvath into the mirror space by mistake with a blast of energy. Then he himself was knocked away by Balthazar's magic. Knowing he was in such danger, Dave then practiced his magic even harder. Not only does he use his magic to control the broom to sweep the floor, he even used his magic to wash dishes. But since Dave was not yet skilled, eventually all his magic got out of control. The boy himself was in danger. Fortunately, Balthazar arrived just in time to dispel all the magic. Faced with Dave's magical antics, finally the two parted ways.
It's not me, Balthazar. I'm sorry.
While Dave was on a date with Becky, Horvath finally got his chance this time. He attacked Balthazar by impersonating Dave. Then he found the grim hold that sealed Morgana. Seeing that Balthazar was no longer useful, Horvath was ready to kill him too. It was in the nick of time that Dave finally arrived just in time. He used his magic to knock down the dagger and save the teacher. Horvath immediately fled with his assistant, with Balthazar in hot pursuit. Horvath then touched his hand on the car. The taxi instantly turned into a supercar. Balthazar did the same thing. His car is clearly better. Seeing that he could not get away from his opponent, Horvath also found a mirror. Then he used his magic. Balthazar was immediately transported to a mirror dimension. Everything here is inverted from reality, and Horvath kept breaking the mirror. He tried to trap Balthazar inside forever. Fortunately, Balthazar soon saw a break in the mirror. He saw a mirror hanging in the air wavering. Balthazar immediately rushed up in his car. Just as the mirror fell, they finally entered the real world. But by then, Horvath had disappeared. Now Horvath had the grim hold that sealed Morgana. Horvath realized that he needed a lot of magical power to unlock it. He did not hesitate to strike at his companion. He would use human life to break the final seal. The most evil of all sorcerers is sealed in this grim hold, but unlocking it requires more than just great magical power. It also requires the ring of the dragon of the Supreme Merlin, but the person wearing the ring came to the door on his own initiative. It turned out that Balthazar had led Dave to Horvath's lair. As they separated, the carpet beneath Balthazar's feet suddenly trembled. He soon became immobilized on the carpet. On the other side, Dave found Grimholt. Just as he was about to leave, Horvath appeared behind him, and he took Dave's girlfriend hostage. Now Dvei had a choice to make: take his girlfriend's life or let go of the dragon ring. As Dvei prepared to stall for time, Balthazar is also trying to get out of the trap. He used his magic to control the two chains. Then he pulls himself straight out of the trap. But by the time he got outside, Dvei had already handed over the Grimhold and the ring. Balthazar, in a rare move, doesn't blame Dvei. He would have made the same choice. Balthazar immediately summoned the Iron Eagle. Then he had to stop Horvath. Dave was not idle at this time either. He can't use magic after losing his ring, but the end of magic is science. The boy quickly carried the Tesla electric ring to the car. He had figured out a way to defeat Horvath. Meanwhile, Horvath had gathered all the conditions. He then prepared to release Morgana. As the Grimhold broke apart, a massive black matter erupted. It eventually took the form of Balthazar's girlfriend Veronica, and it was the evil Morgana that was sealed inside her. The next step is to use the satellite receiver on the roof to guide and amplify the electromagnetic energy. Then he could summon an army of undead to destroy the world. By the time Balthazar gets here, the magic mark was about to take shape. Horvath soon spotted Balthazar hiding in the shadows. With the dragon ring, his power increased. Balthazar was no match for him now. He was quickly knocked out of the way. Horvath then revived Iron Bull in the square. Iron Bull heads straight for Balthazar. Even though he was hiding behind a car, he was also unable to stop the Iron Bull's attack, and Horvath was still casting spells. Soon Balthazar's life was on the line. It was at this time of crisis that Dvei finally arrives in time with his Tesla electric ring. The wand in Horvath's hand was the best way to conduct electricity. His weapon was immediately ejected. Before he could react, Balthazar's spell took care of him. Faced with the charging Iron Bull, Balthazar summoned the Iron Eagle. It grabbed the Iron Bull straight into the air. But the crisis is not over now. The magic ring in the air has taken shape. Under Morgana's control, black smoke began to rise. They spread rapidly throughout the world. Black smoke can wake the dead. Whether it's the Great Wall of China or the Sphinx under the pyramids, they wake up quickly under the influence of darkness. Soon the darkness will cover the land, and countless undead will return from hell. Fortunately, Dvei was prepared for this. He had already asked his girlfriend to sabotage the signal tower. With the receiver successfully destroyed and with the failure of summoning magic, Morgana also fainted from the backlash. To save his girlfriend, Balthazar breathed Morgana's soul into his own body. He then threw the Grimhold at Dvei. This time he would be the one to seal Morgana, but it's not that simple. As the most powerful evil mage Morgana, Balthazar's body simply can't trap Morgana. Morgana was soon freed from her bonds. Just as she was about to kill Balthazar, Dvei came rushing out of nowhere. It turned out that he had comprehended magic without realizing it. He could still use the power of magic even without the ring in his hand. This is a power only the Supreme Mage has. As they were all in shock, Morgana attacked. Everyone was immediately struck by magic. When Deva saw Balthazar being knocked away in order to save him, he fought back angrily. But although he now possessed Merlin's magic, he did not have the power or skill to match it. His attack posed no threat to Morgana. Instead, Dvei was quickly defeated by Morgana's attacks. But that was Dvei's plan. His first blow had deliberately missed her and aimed at the transformer nearby. While Morgana was on the attack, Dvei was secretly controlling the high-voltage wires. He had connected all the wires to the streetlights. Now he's going to use science to defeat magic.
Powers.
At Dvei's command, a mop instantly pulls down the electric switch. The power of the whole city is gathered here. With a powerful current flowing through it, Morgana loses control of her body. Faced with this living target, Dvei doesn't hesitate anymore. This time his attacks all hit their mark. Morgana was reduced to ashes. And so ends the magical battle that has been going on for 1,000 years. At the end of the film, Balthazar is finally reunited with his girlfriend, and Dvei lives a sweet life with his goddess.